Hello, my name is Robert, and today we're going to build our first website. The method that we're going to build our first website is going to be a little different from what you might find on the web because I'm trying to teach you the proper way to build a website or an application so you have the foundation or you understand why we're building that website in the first place. You need to understand what are the user and the business needs. So this is a primordial foundation to why people build products. And yes, websites and applications are products. Then we're going to see some simple user flows, a brand identity, and a simple design library. Our first responsive design will start at the fourth step. So we're going to start building our first page at that step. And then we're going to see what future upgrades and what is a roadmap for a product. Let's get going. You need to understand when you're trying to design a product is what are the user needs and how can you solve those user needs for those particular users. And we'll take an example, a simple example, and we'll imagine that we want to build a search engine. We have been tasked by a multi-million dollar guy to build a search engine platform to rival that or those who are present right now on the internet. And the reason why this businessman wants to do this is because he thinks that the market share is still big and he can expand his business into this market. So, as a user, and I'm looking here, I want to reach an objective or solve a problem by searching on the internet. This is the primordial user need. Then how can we as designer or innovators can solve the user's problem? Well, we can solve it by creating an application that indexes websites and gives back results. And how can we retain the users on the application? Well, make it simple, plain, and fast. So this is probably what the founders of Google have put in their first draft when they invented Google, just to understand how products are born. Then uh, the business, how can we as a business maximize profits? Don't get fooled. Businesses want to maximize their profits through products. The exception that I can share with you is government organizations who need products to inform citizens, and the primary goal for that particular entity is not to make money, is to not lose money or inform citizens or so on and so on. So I've added more details on what the user wants to do. So he wants to search for the internet for words or sentences, then for images, for videos, or to navigate maps. So those might be four different categories of this website. We need to include users who have accessibility problems, and we need to make a virtual keyboard. We need to recognize voice, maybe even go further and just use a voice user interface. A and then a simple information architecture for this project is this. So we have a homepage, we have a page with terms and conditions, and then the user accesses this homepage. He puts in a keyword, and then the result page is displayed. And then the thing is that the result page could be split into four for distinct results, or for web, or words or sentences, images, videos, and map results. And we're going to build the first one, the web results. But we need to have in mind that we want to upgrade to this as well. So this is helping you imagine the future or the roadmap for the website. Think in perspective. We're creating the brand identity and the design library for this project. I've chosen the name Kraken Hub because each of its limbs can be a web part that we're interested to build. I've also added some colors into the document asset, and I've also chose some icons because this might be a thing that it kind of takes a while. Just to show you the website that I'm using, it's remixicon.com, and you can just go there and you can copy paste the icons as SVG from the website. You don't necessarily need to download, so I find that pretty awesome. Cool. So let's create a logo for our website. It's called Kraken Hub. I'm going to make it uppercase. I'm going to make it slightly bigger. I'm going to move it here. I'm going to delete the space between Kraken and Hub, and I kind of want to make this bold, and I think I like how the logo looks like. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to make the hub with the blue color, and now we have a second option for the logo. Right, the first the foundation for any website is buttons, info fields, and fonts. So we're going to use for the fonts, we're going to use Roboto, and here's how I work my magic when doing the fonts for websites. I'm starting with the smallest possible font, which is 14, and it should be 14 in size anywhere on the web. Don't go lower than 14 sizes of for the font. And I'm just going to say here 14 px for pixels, and then I'm going to make this 16, and I'm going to change it here as well, and it's 16, and so on and so on. So from this point on, I'm incrementing by 8. I like to have this incrementation because I find it to be really smooth and not so troublesome, and so it has a logic behind, so I kind of like that. So Roboto 40 points in size. At this point, let me just make another one. You don't necessarily need all the fonts for this. You can increment on the way. So yeah, just to give you a glimpse on how I make my fonts. And then once you have the fonts, you can either you can use all of this, or you can make some rules to just use some of this. I kind of like to have all the options on the table. And to have this in the document asset, just click the fonts and click this plus here, and it will put the fonts into the character styles. Now, how to create some basic buttons. I'm going to create a rectangle, and I'm going to set it to 200 in width and 40 in height. So I'm going to zoom a little bit here, make it like this so you can see better. So this is the actual button. Doesn't look great. I'm going to make a black button first. I'm going to get rid of this border, and then I'm going to put here and say button label. And I am going to use the 14 size. Notice that I don't really have to work here. If I want to change the size of this font, I just click in the character styles and it does that automatically. For the buttons, I want to have a full caps on, and I'm going to move the font here on top of the rectangle, and then just to make sure it's really centered, I'm going to do this and this. I'm going to make this centered on the button. Just for your knowledge, if you want to make a button that is super responsive, I would suggest making this something like this, put it in, and just add 10 padding on the left side, resize the rectangle behind it and add 10 as a padding. So right now it has 11, 10, 10, 10, and group the button. I'm going to group it, and now you can click this tag here and notice that it has the auto padding. And right now if I want to change this to, I don't know, click me, it does this auto resize, and click me whatever, a bigger button in width. So notice that it keeps the padding, right? I'm just going to say button label and keep it like this, sorry, and keep it like this. And just for this, I don't kind of like the rough edges, so I'm going to select the background and I'm going to say 4 pixels in round size. Now we will duplicate this button and change the background color to a blue. Zoom out a little bit so we have more space to see. Create 2 more buttons, one with red background and one with a green background. So why do I want this? This is because this is going to be a destructive action button. This will be a validation action button. This will be a primary button, again a primary button, but in black. Always try to duplicate and make them ghost as well. So I'm going to make this a white fill with a black border and change the text to black as well. So the same thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to make this white, make this a blue border, and then check the text to be blue as well. I'm going to do this for every button that I have, just to have these variants here. You don't really know where you're going to need them, so I like to have this. So right now we have buttons, which is pretty cool. And the next thing that we need to do is create some input fields. The first one of the first things that we can create in input field is you can create a box and then put some text on. What I like to do is take a primary button, duplicate it, ungroup it, and then make the button itself wider, and then uncheck the full caps and put a actually let me just put here 10 padding and make this text field like this. So notice that I'm going to have 10 padding all around, and then align it to the left. Now what it doesn't have and in this moment is a input label, so I'm going to duplicate this and put it to 5 distance. Notice that it has a 5 here, and then I'm going to align this to the left side, and I'm going to say input label, right. One thing that I don't like right now is it's too blackish, and I'm going to change this to a gray color, this to a gray color, and this to a gray color. In this way you will ensure that you can have a variant for this. So this would be a non-focused input field, right? Non-focused input field. Then we need a variation for this to be a focused input field. By the way, we need to change this to input text, or actually let's say John Doe. This will change depending on what you're using. So if it would say first name last name here, you would say John Doe. We'll change this for our purpose. We'll change the text for our purpose. Right now we have this focused input field, and we want to change this to be blue and then this to be 100% black. And I'm going to put this here as a text. This is simulating the keyboard blinker when you click on it. Cool. And then we need to have one more, and I'm just going to create the one with the problem. So this would be the one with the problem. Yeah. So because I didn't think this through, we need to put an X here, for accessibility reasons. So because some people might not see colors in full detail, they might not know that this is a red border. So let me switch now to Google Chrome, and we have remixicon.com, and I'm going to show you how cool is this. So we need a close or an X. Let's see if we have an X somewhere over here. X. Close. Okay, so we have a close icon. I'm going to get the close circle, this one, and if I click on it, you can see that I can change the color, copy SVG, download this SVG, PNG, and so on. I'm just going to copy this SVG, and I'm going back into XD, going to paste it. So it's going to paste it in the middle of my screen, and I'm going to move it here. I'm just going to center it, and I'm going to change its color to red. So now you have a focused input field with error, and you also want to say why is this an error. So I'm going to duplicate this and just say error message goes here, and I'm going to make this red. And right now we have 3 kinds of input fields. I'm not quite happy with this color here, so I'm just going to make it a slightly darker gray, and I think this looks nice. Let me just change this to a darker gray as well, and this as well to a darker gray, and I think we're really good. Now usually I group this and make them like this and then like this. Notice that we have components here. I'm just going to collapse this to colors. So we have some components in XD. XD works on components. You can just have this on your file and then just copy paste them and use them, but it's not really that productive. So let's make the buttons and the input fields some components. So I'm just going to click and say make component. You can make this with Command K. Component 1, component, make this component, and then make this component. So notice that now you have a shape, a green shape here. This is the master component. Really quickly, if for example, so this is a child component, and this is the exact reason why you want to build this. So button 1, and then button 2, which is large, not large, wide, and so on and so on. And you can customize this and say maybe I want this to be let's say 32, and it makes it a round button, but the other child is the same. Now if you change a property from the master component, let's say I'm going to change this to something like this, it changes the child as well. So make sure when you change things in the master component, you don't ruin something that you actually don't want to ruin. I'm going to delete this right now, and I'm going to take this and add them here. Not a great example. I'm just going to say undo. Just going to add them with Command K, and now we have all the buttons. Let's say one cool trick is revealing component assets. So if you don't know which of this is what, you can just say revealing component assets, and it just focus this. So I'm just going to say primary black button, and I'm going to copy this and go primary blue button, and XD has a bug, yay. So black button, let's see, blue button. Yeah, nice bug. We're not going to try this anymore anyway. Let's just put this into our component asset as well. So right now we have what we need to start the actual build of the website. We actually start building our website, and I have here a 1280 desktop artboard, an iPad artboard, and an iPhone artboard. This is to represent most of the screens and to make it responsive. So uh, one of the first things that you want to do is, if you're not a pioneer, what you're doing is spy or look or get inspired by your competitors. So I'm going to change this to Google Chrome, and I have here Google, Bing, Yandex, and Baidu opened in different tabs. And we're going to look at them and see what they do. Again, it's not a very complex website that we're trying to build, but it doesn't hurt to look at competitors, especially if you're trying to build complex websites such as e-commerce or other websites. And I'm going to go to Bing to see how they are doing, and I'm going to go to Yandex and take a look on how they're doing, and then going to Baidu and see how they're doing. So notice that they have a lot of stuff on top of this search engine, and this is the stuff that we're going to try and build. But the first thing that we're going to do is just create the let's say keyword here, right? So keyword. So these two pages are the ones that we're going to build: the first page that the user sees and the result page. Okay, cool. Let's go back to XD and zoom in, focus this artboard. Now we have a logo, which I haven't put into the components. And what I am going to do is command minus, and it's a good thing that I haven't deleted this artboards. I'm going to zoom here, and I'm going to say command K and make this a component. So I'm going to zoom out again and click this and say command 3, which focuses this artboard for me. Now, the this is the logo. I'm going to drag and drop it onto my artboard, and let's think this through. What do we want to do? We want the user to know where he is, to identify with our website. So we have the logo, right? We need a input field, and let's say we need an input field. The first one is going to be a non-focused input field, okay? And then we're going to need a button to help us with the actual um, action that the user is taking. So the first thing that you would want to do is plan this through. Since we're trying to do this in a modular way and to be upgradable, I'm going to create a rectangle, which is going to be the background for the top background, and I'm going to say 1280, so it's full width, and I'm going to align it to the top and to the left side. I'm going to get rid of the border and put a shadow on it. I think it has a too powerful shadow here, and I'm just going to say 2 pixels on the y-axis, so up down axis, and I'm going to say 4 on the actual blur part. And I'm going to take this logo. Notice that it goes below. If you go to the actual layers, you can move this here, and you can also rename this and just say logo, and this can be top navigation background, sorry, background. Cool. Now you want to use some distance for the logo, and I'm going to shift and click the right arrow, so it's going to be at 20 pixels from the actual side. Let me just turn the layout out and click simulate, and I think it looks great. Yeah, it has some space on it, but it doesn't really look great on top and below of the logo. And I'm going to close the simulator and make this let's say 56, align it to the middle, and I still don't like it. I'm going to increase it to 64. You don't have to do incrementations by 8. I like this system, and it's kind of stuck with me. So let's just simulate this. Kind of looks great now, and I kind of like it. So this is our top navigation where it will hold the logo, and into the future at some point it will hold the user account and probably some other things. Right, now we want to align this into the middle. Let's just bring back the layout again, and I want to make this a little bit wider. So notice that I can, now this being a child component, I can make it wider, and it kind of, it takes the text fields and it sticks them to their position in relation to the other, to the background, for example. Cool. Now, we don't want this to be named non-focused input field, right? We want it to be called search, right? And we want search here for keyword. And right now we just say search here for keyword. We don't have the capability to show images because we haven't built that yet. And we're going to put this button on 20 pixels below the input field. Cool. Now, there's one thing, I don't know why it's happening here. And yeah, okay, now we want this button to say search, search. And if we group this and put like this, now we have a basic working website, right? And I'm going to close this. So it doesn't look really great, but we're going to do some changes afterwards. We're going to, right now we want to make it responsive. So I'm just going to take this top bar, put it here, and make it as the tablet size, which is 768, and put the logo here. Take this, copy it, paste it, align it to the middle, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the mobile, and let's see how that works or looks like. And I'm going to copy paste this and put it here. Notice that the mobile or the tablet and mobile, well, the rule is that you have 12 columns on the desktop, 8 columns on the tablet, and then 4 columns here. It doesn't look great, so I'm going to take this and just move it like this, change its size. So we have 2 columns on the right side, 2 columns on the left side, and I think this is great. Let's simulate this, and again I think it looks okay for at this stage. And then we want to change this. Let's change it to this. Right, so we have this in the middle, and if I would have a iPhone 6 or 7 or 8, it would look like this. Right, so this is the first iteration of our work. So right now we have a homepage. I can come to this, click this input field, enter my keyword, and then click search. Uh, the thing that it will do, so now we need a results page, and I'm going to duplicate this page, and I'm going to change the layout. Once again, we don't really need to imagine the whole thing because we have some competitors, but let's try an exercise for this and imagine how a result page would work. Well, we kind of need some space to put information, so let's just say um, title, a description. So we would need a title, we would need a description, and then maybe maybe a link. Maybe we would need an image. So right now we're trying to build the template for our results card and see how we can do that. Right. Now obviously this search doesn't need to stay in the middle of the page because we're going to have results. So I'm going to move this, and if I move it here, I can't because this is too much. So I'm just going to put it here, just say 20 from the top navigation, 20 from the left side, and then put this in on the right side. Um, Now you can see why I wanted to make the input field from a button, because if I have an input field and a button, they both have the same size, so it doesn't look bad. So right now we have this. search here, search input field here, search button here, and now we need to build a card for results. So I'm going to duplicate this, I'm going to ungroup it, I'm going to delete this as well, and I'm going to start building a card. So I want the title, let's just put this back. I'm going to change this to the document asset, and I want to put a 32, so a little bit too much, 24, I think 24, maybe 16. Yes, 16 is a great example. I'm going to make this, let's just say, so it has 16 with 17, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I have 10 padding on the left side. That's 11, so one more, and then 13, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 10, 10, and I can just put this here and just shift arrow down, and it will decrease by 10. So now we have, so here is the result title, and we can say result number dot, and then here is the result title. Then we can duplicate this and put it at a distance of 10, make it a robot of 14, and this would be, actually I'm not going to resize this, I'm going to just put 3, 4 rows, and I'm just going to double click this so it auto resizes by the content. So here is the description text, and I have to do the same thing again. And so here is the description text. Now, and we have this, and then we might need a link. So this is the link, and we're going to put this at a distance of 10. This would actually be full, so it's going to be full. This area here is already filled with text, and if we want to add an image to this, we either add it on the left side or we add it on the top side. So let's have a let's imagine how this would be. I'm going to duplicate this here. I'm going to delete this stuff, and I think that I'm going to make this rectangle, and I'm going to put this. Okay, so now we have an image placeholder, which I need to change. So I'm going to move this here. Okay, send it backwards. Now we have this image placeholder, which I still don't like, so I'm going to decrease this by 20 and this by 20, and I'm going to move it with shift arrow, one down and one down, one to the right, and I'm going to remove this. It's going to be 0. I'm going to remove the border, and I'm going to put it like this. So make sure that when you're building something, you try to build it with the all details in mind, right? Some people ask me or ask on the internet, is it necessary for designers to learn front end or coding? Well, you don't have to actually do it, but you have to understand the logic behind it. So um, we have, so this is a title, this is a description text, this is a link, this is a image, and this translated into dev language would be ID, title, description, then link, then image. So this would be the properties for a database, and try to have as many talks with devs so you don't miss out things. This is just for you to understand how the logic behind it. So try to have some talks with them and try to understand what you're trying to build. It doesn't hurt to learn some front end and some back end you know, languages. I'm going to delete this right now from here. What I want to do now, I want to copy the appearance of this background. So I'm going to Command C and then Option Command V to paste it appearance on this card. So right now we have this good looking card, and we're going to put this at the distance of 40, and we're going to duplicate it and have a distance of 20 behind it, and so on. One way you can do this, either from this, so you can just duplicate it like this, or you can delete this and say you want a repeat grid. Sorry, here it is, repeat grid, and then you're going to have this as a repeat grid, right? And then the distance between them is 20, and I like that, so it's okay. Now, if you want to ungroup this grid, you can just click there, right? So you have this. Now you want to test this and see how it works. So we're going to make this a scrollable content, and I'm going to have some space here at the bottom, and I'm going to simulate this. So right now we have um, a content that we can scroll down, right? And I think this looks kind of great, and it is what it's okay for our purpose now. So I'm going to close this, and we need to do this for an iPad as well, and for an iPhone as well. So right now we're going to ungroup this, put it here. Now that we know what to do, it's going to be a little bit faster. So, and then I'm going to move the button here. Maybe the button is too away from the input field, so 10 is okay. And I'm going to take this and put it, duplicate it here, and just put it by 40. And I'm going to change this scrollable content so it's like this, right? So now if I simulate the tablet, I have this content here. Cool, which is cool. So for this iteration, I think it looks great. One thing that we can't do on the mobile, and it will never work, is um, have the same format for the results, for the card results. So let's just say we're going to do a small trick, and I'm going to change how the actual cards look like. So I'm going to ungroup this, I'm going to change everything from here, sorry, delete, and I'm going to keep this card here just for purpose of having a example. So kind of like the background, so we don't want to change the background. By the way, I want to see the layout, and I'm going to move this and make it as big as the 4 columns. Make it a little bit bigger in height. So we would want to have a slightly wider image, right? So we have 10, 10, 10, and then if I double click, I can move this corner here. So we might say that this is the image, and then we want to take the other ones, the other details, and put them like this. Let's just say like this. I think I screwed up here, so it's 5. No, it's not good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now it's 10 by 10 by 10. Cool. So we have this here. We just need to change this and align it to the right side. I think the image is a little bit too much, and I'm just going to decrease the height. Maybe 150 would suffice, and I think that's great at this point. And then 10 distance. And right now I'm going to say that this is an actual result card. So it is a workable design card. We're going to repeat this grid and make it like this, ungroup, and then make it a scrollable content. So right now we have a results for a phone. Right, well, this was the first lesson for you guys, so you can understand how we're building websites. This is our first website. This is actually just the first iteration. We're going to change this and make it a more believable website so people and users want to build it, but not in this tutorial. We're going to make it in the next one. Cool.